They might look like regular moon jellyfish, but these are not completely natural creatures. They are cyborgs, part robot, part jellyfish. And they're remotely controlled by Caltech researchers to collect environmental data as they pulse through the ocean. LA Times Environment, Health, and Science intern Neve Ordner wrote about these robotic jellyfish. Welcome to the paper. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, let's look at this. What is happening here?
This is coming out of, like you said, Caltech at the Dabiri Lab. So it's led by Dr. John Dabiri, and what they focus on specifically is kind of fluid dynamics and also bio-inspired engineering. So it's kind of taking inspiration from organisms that already exist in the environment, like the jellyfish, and finding ways to almost like reinvent new technology.
We're seeing these robot parts that have been inserted into a real jellyfish. Why?
So these are being used for kind of data collection, also ocean monitoring. So typically a lot of your traditional kind of high-tech drones being used in the environment for, ocean monitoring and data collection, very, very expensive, couple $1,000s, but this offers a very low-cost alternative for many research labs to kind of get in on it if they don't have enough funding.
So they can measure the salinity or the temperature, and it turns out that jellyfish are the perfect host. Explain why. I learned it all in your piece, and I was fascinated.
Jellyfish are actually an ideal host for this project because they lack any central nervous system and also pain receptors. And they can regenerate tissue in as quickly as 24 hours actually after removing the device. So it's surprisingly very ethical to use these jellyfish, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that the people back at home base are controlling their movements. They give them a little nudge electronically. It makes their muscle contract, which makes them go, right?
Yeah. So the device they're actually like augmenting the jellyfish with, it's consisted of like a central kind of unit that contains all of the sensors for like measuring pH, salinity, temperature, anything you can really put your mind to for ocean research. And it has 2 different electrodes connected on wires on either end. So they send signals through these electrodes into the muscle of the jellyfish that kind of lets it undulate kind of in the, the standard kind of jellyfish motion that we're familiar with.
There are limitations to the technology.
Yes. Yeah, so as of right now, the devices that I was shown, like there's a lot of different types that they're working with and trying to develop, but the main one, it's 3D printed, the central housing unit, and these can warp at lower depths. So jellyfish are quite fascinating in that they can actually endure like very high pressures. So in this case, it's the device that's the limitation, not the jellyfish.
Right, and it can only go up and down. They haven't figured out how to make it go side to side yet, right?
Yeah.
But they're already planning on expanding. They're working with other native jellyfish in other parts of the world to target those oceans where they have concerns, right?
Yeah, so they go out and do field research every once in a while. So they recently went to the Florida Keys and also like Kona, Hawaii, so they're able to use native kind of Cassiopeia jellyfish, which are upside down, which is really fascinating, and also box jellyfish, which are traditionally very toxic, but they found a fun workaround.
You mentioned that they're very inexpensive, and the hope is they can scale this up economically so that who else can have access to the technology?
So what's good about this is, as you said, it can be easily scaled up. There's swarms of jellyfish that already exist in the wild, so it's kind of a built-in kind of, can easily bring out a lot more devices. But like you said, much cheaper. So this kind of makes research as a whole, specifically like ocean research for marine biologists or any environmental researchers, it makes it a lot more accessible.
Like nonprofits, for example.
Yeah, especially like nonprofits and also just like labs that may just be starting and may not have like a lot of funding. So good alternative.
Neve Ordner, welcome again, and thank you for writing the story. Fascinating.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was great talking to you about it.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest information, balanced coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.